had I the heavens embroidered cloths, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue...
The eternal beauty of the rose, the heartfelt words of the poet. Create a special moment for the one you love. Log on to poemsandroses.com and send a romantic e-card today.
Hi, I'm Matt Ryan and welcome to an irishcentral.com TV special coming to you from the ancestral home of President Barack Obama. I'm in Moneygall in County Offaly in Ireland. I visited Hayes Pub on the main street and I spoke to Ollie Hayes and other members of the community to talk about the upcoming visit of President Barack Obama to the village of Moneygall. Is it yourself, Henry?
Yeah, I'll try my best.
So I'll start the question off, okay, make sure we're rolling there. Henry, can you give me a little bit of the history or a bit about Moneygall itself?
Moneygall, it's a typical Irish rural village. Our primary industry is agriculture and we depend on the local towns for also employment. But the village itself has a lot of history behind it. It has a famous president came from Moneygall by the name of Seamus O'Reen. He was former president of the Gaelic Athletic Association in Ireland from 1967 to 1970. And he's one of the most famous people to come from our village. We also had, in 2000, we had a reason to cheer. A horse by the name of Papillon won the Grand National in England, and he was bred here in this by a man by Eamon McCormack here in this village. So we've quite a number of interesting characters that have come from the village over the last number of years. But the village itself, we have sports clubs, the hurling and the soccer, camogie. All your traditional Irish sports are played here in the village. We have people involved in score, Irish dancing and music. There's cards played every week in the local halls. There's table tennis played. There's different sports, different activities. There's groups such as the ICA, the Apostolic Works Association. They're all we have many groups and lots of great people in the village. We've Tidy Towns who are very active in continually cleaning the village and making it presentable for all the passers through and the visitors who have stopped off. And we're also surrounded by major towns of interest such as Birr. Town has the Birr Castle, which was home to the largest telescope in the world at one stage. There's also the Rock of Cashel is close by, as well as the heritage towns of Neenah and Roscrea. So we're only a stone's throw away from all these attractions, and that's Moneygall.
Ollie, can you tell me, you've spoken there about there was a famous man from a large organisation in America and he hailed from the town. Can you tell me who that was?
He was a James Tully. We know he had connections from the area. I can't go in too deep into that, but he actually became the chairman and CEO of Merrill Lynch. And it's about, I suppose, 7 or 8 years ago, I read an article of his and the local school teacher here pointed it out. We were reading it here one evening in the pub where he made reference to Moneygall, the small village. You know, he obviously had done trace his ancestors, but we don't know much more details than that. But we know by the reading of the article, he did drive through the village at one stage or another.
And Stephen, can you tell me a little bit about the connection between the President Obama and Moneygall? What is the family connection here?
Well, part of the family connection is sitting beside me, but the connection is Fulmouth Kearney, President Obama's third great-grandfather, left Moneygall in 1850. And around that time, actually, the whole Kearney clan left for America. And there are local relatives still living in the village and in the surrounding area. Henry Healy here beside me is the President's 8th cousin. We refer to him as Henry VIII around these parts. And he is related through a marriage between the Kearney family and the Healy family back in, I think, 1761. So the link goes back a very, very long way. There are also Donovans, who are cousins of the presidents, and a large number of extended family who he'll be able to visit and meet with when he comes to Moneygall.
And tell me, Ollie, there's rumour there that he's going to pop in maybe, and will you be the first to give him a pint of Guinness?
Oh, please God, I'll be able to give him a pint of Guinness. Traditionally, the most presidents that come to Ireland, they go into a pub in some location, and Cassidy's in Dublin where Bill Sentiment, so I hope there's Ollie Hayes as the Barack Obama comes to, so.
And will you have the special pint glass ready for him there, and will you be giving him instructions on how to actually pull the pint of Guinness?
Well, I'd rather if he'd pull his own. I'll give him the instructions and let him pull the pint.
And will he be drinking it himself?
Oh, absolutely. I'll have one with him.
The descendants of the president there, you were saying that they were involved in famine relief.
Yes, the Kearney family, President Obama's ancestors, were very explicitly involved in that. One of the family members was a member of the local famine relief committee, which sought to alleviate the suffering of the people in the area. And it ties in very interestingly with the president's own community involvement background. It seems maybe there's something in the genes that in his commitment to community involvement and community development. Back in the 1800s, one of his own ancestors was involved in trying to alleviate the suffering of the local community caused by the famine.
And can you tell me, Stephen, if a visitor comes over here or somebody wants to come and visit Moneygall, what can I see that I can trace back to the Obamas? What is left of the ancestral homes, shops? What can I see?
There's quite a lot still visible. Only yards from where we're sitting, just down the street, is the ancestral home. It was discovered, if you like, only a couple of years ago by Clan doing research on the already existing links to Moneygall. Discovered the deeds of the house which name Phoebe Donovan, Fulmouth Kearney's mother, as the tenant in the house just down the street. So that house is still standing, and we hope the President will come and visit. Just across the road from where we are is the old schoolhouse, where Fulmouth Kearney and his family would have attended school. Then just down the road, a couple of miles outside the village, is Temple Harry Church. The church was built in 1800. It was associated with the Stoney estate just down the road, Enel Castle. It was the ancestral place of worship of Obama's Irish ancestors, the Kearneys, and the records found in this church show evidence of the occupation, among other things, of the Kearney family. It recorded in the baptismal register, we see shoemaker listed as the occupation of Joseph Donovan, who was the father of Fulmouth Kearney, who emigrated to the States and who was the President's third great-grandfather. We also have baptisms of siblings of Fulmouth Kearneys, and Joseph and Phoebe Donovan, his parents, mentioned in connection with those records. And those records tie in directly with the American records when the family registered themselves in the States, when they all ultimately emigrated. The church today is open for occasional worship. In the summer months, just once a month. It's a very quaint little rural church, and it's going to benefit from the whole Moneygall Obama story, in that it's going to be redecorated by Dulux Paints, and Ulster Carpet are giving us a new carpet for the church. So it's a good news story all round, and we're delighted to be a part of it.
Now, sir, can you tell me a little bit about the graveyard we're in now?
This is Cullen Wain graveyard, which is a very ancient graveyard, and you'll notice that some of the stones around us are unmarked, just simply marker stones. And in famine times and pre-famine times, a lot of the graves of the ordinary people would have been unmarked graves. And the Kearney family, popular wisdom, local wisdom has it that this was their graveyard at the time of Fulmouth Kearney's move to America. So there are certainly Kearney graves here, although unmarked. And there are also indeed Kearney graves back in Shinrone from the period when the Kearney family lived in Shinrone before they came to Moneygall. But certainly we're standing on ground in which the Kearney family would have been frequently visitors, and where Barack Obama's direct ancestors are buried. Absolutely, certainly. This is almost certainly a famine graveyard, in that the marker stones were typical of famine graveyards. With the large number of deaths in a very short space of time, there wasn't either the resources or indeed the time to put up marker stones, proper marked stones, and so this is almost certainly a famine graveyard in part.
If I'm from America and I know I have Irish connections, Irish ancestry, or I think I have, can I come to Moneygall and can I begin my investigation into who, I would, if I was a Ryan and O'Dwyer and Obama, can I come to Moneygall and begin to search my own Irish ancestry?
Well, obviously the local records are available through principally the local churches and the local heritage office, and there's an office in Nina where people can go and research family records in the area, and also obviously the National Archives, the National Library and various other places. But certainly it's as good a place as any to start, and I know myself and other colleagues in all the churches are very happy to help people find and trace their roots. It's something we do all the time. It's a regular part of our work, if you like. And if I wanted to contact you or some of the other guys there, how would I contact you? Most of the contact these days comes through the internet. Most of the initial approach that I had about Barack Obama's links came through the internet initially. And that seems to be the way that we are located. I think people have a rough idea where they think their family came from. They do an internet trawl, search for the local churches and come up with the clergy, and that tends to be where they start. And then in many cases we pass them on to other bodies and organisations to further their research. But it is a constant, and I think it's an increasing thing. There seems to be a real hunger of people of Irish origin to find out, exactly where their roots were. They're very proud of their Irish heritage, and rightly so. And I'm always very glad personally to help people to do this. And indeed, I can combine my ancestral search with a nice visit to Moneygall.
Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue...
The eternal beauty of the rose, the heartfelt words of the poet. Create a special moment for the one you love. Log on to poemsandroses.com and send a romantic e-card today.